Chapter 14. Lights Out. The storm breaks just as you make it back into the house with Liz and Angelina in tow. Pete and Crystal are waiting for you in the main living room, looking jumpy. Thank God, you're all... Wait, Angelina, what were you doing out with the others? I think it's time we all heard what the hell is going on. Madani was killed, Liz runs off, but now you come back with Angelina too, and nobody's even handcuffed. You don't have handcuffs, I'm a bodyguard, not a damn cop. Glance at John, Liz's words from the walk back echoing in your mind. We ran because I think he's the killer, and if he is, Angelina, all of us were in a hell of a lot of danger. If it can't be John, can it? Whatever. From where I'm sitting, the girl who literally ran away from us seems pretty freaking guilty. Liz and Angelina left because they were afraid of being stuck here with a killer any longer. We've learned they have alibis for when Nick died. What alibis, exactly? That's up to Liz and Angelina to tell you. All eyes focus on the two of them, and Liz clears her throat. Okay, what happened was Angelina was doing me a favor. I have a digestive issue that gets pretty bad when I'm stressed, and all the party prep was a ton of pressure, and so I was in my room having an, episode, and I called Angelina to bring me some Pepto, and Liz, stop. Angelina rests a hand on her shoulder, shaking her head. I'm tired of hiding. They might as well know. For the last few months, Liz and I have been together. I know I betrayed Nick's trust, and I wish I had a chance to tell him the truth, to break things off properly. And I'm not ashamed to be with Liz. I'm not gonna hide it anymore. Yeah, you're not ashamed of cheating on the guy. Pete raises a hand as if he's in class. I'm happy that you've both got some comfort right now, but I feel like I have to ask, doesn't this give them both a motive? They both stood to gain from Nick's death. I don't need Nick's money. I make more than enough from modeling to maintain both of us. And Liz is far from helpless. She has degrees coming out the wazoo. Angelina squeezes Liz's hand, but Liz looks at the ground as she goes on. We were also, together when Nick died. Oh, right. That's a pretty solid alibi. Not really if it's two killers. Great, Liz, Angie. Just know that if I puke everywhere, it's not because of your relationship, just my ongoing fear of being murdered in my sleep. Well, anybody who stands too close to me right now stands a good chance of being sick. I feel like hell and I smell worse. Yeah, my whole body right now is giving armpit. And I still need to fill Dante and Farah in on what Liz told me. John, do you think you could escort Liz and Angelina upstairs? We shouldn't leave anyone on their own if we can help it. Liz shoots you a nervous look, and for a moment, John hesitates. You're sure I'm the one you want doing that? Considering how bad I am at being in rooms when people need my protection? John, I said I'm sorry. John, please. No one should be alone right now. Okay, but only because Finn asked. John starts to lead the two of them towards the door just as the lights all throughout the house flicker. God, not this again! For a moment, it's like you're all back to the night Nick died. You glance around, almost expecting him to come strolling through the door. But he's not coming, and this storm is even worse than the first one. We're gonna be stuck here forever. I think this is gonna be a rough night. We should batten down the hatches, make sure all the windows are locked, the whole 9 yards. Liz, Angelina, we can start covering some of the rooms upstairs. As long as the three of us are all together, okay. Dante, Farah, we can take the eastern half of the second floor. Crystal, Pete, can you two check the ground floor windows? You've got it. The moment you're out of earshot from the other guest, you turn to Dante and Farah as Farah checks the lock on a nearby window. I hate to do this, but Liz told me something about that you both need to know. Liz saw John the night Madani was killed near Madani's room just a few minutes before I found her body. She's sure it was John. That's what she and Angelina really ran. They were afraid to be trapped in the house with him. God, I never understood why he split off that night. He was supposed to be searching for Madani with us. He just went off alone. I know, but this is John we're talking about. The guy's a badass. He would never hurt Nick or Madani. There's another crash of thunder, lights flicker. Farah shivers, glancing down the hall to make sure you're still alone. I want to believe that too, but we know John was in the military. He saw combat. But he was also Nick's bodyguard. He was trying to find the killer for days. And I'm a carefree party girl, and you two are you're a two-bit gangster on the silver screen. People put on facades, Dante. They pretend to be things that they're not. You should know that better than anyone. I don't want to believe it either, but John did have means and opportunity. He knew where Nick was at all times. He had more insight into Nick's security systems than anyone else, including a keycard to Nick's room. Plus, Madani trusted him. If he'd come knocking, I could see her just letting him in. You really think it's him, Finn? I mean, I only have two options other than let's see, so John's the most likely suspect. Now that we know he doesn't have an alibi for Nick and that he had the opportunity to hurt Madani, it makes sense. We've been investigating a model, crypto bro, COO, personal assistant, while there's a suspect with actual combat experience. I guess it's less far-fetched than Crystal incapacitating Nick with overpriced goo. But if we're going to investigate the certified bodyguard and ex-Green Beret, he can't know what we're up to. Agreed. If we find something that puts him in the clear, wonderful. But if he is the killer and we tip him off, we'll all be in danger. Fine, but I don't like this. I'll do it. I'll act to any part you give me, but I just hate using skills to lie to a friend. As you move on to close another pair of windows, thunder crashes once more, and all the lights go out. Perfect. I'm really loving this new rave atmosphere we have going. Very fun, not at all menacing. Everyone just stay close. The lights should be back on in a second, I hope. I'll stay still, reach for Dante, reach for Farah. In the darkness, you reach towards where you last saw Farah. Give her hand. Find her hand and intertwine your fingers with hers. Hi, good to know you're still here. I'm not going anywhere without you. Farah squeezes your hand. You can feel the calluses on her fingers and hear her shift one step closer to you. You're awfully sweet. This time, when the thunder crashes, the lights come back on, and you suddenly find yourself face to face with Angelina and Liz. Finn? Where did you two come from? We went by Liz's room to freshen up. John demanded we hand over our extra keycards and then stormed off to put them somewhere. So, as security, he's back to being the only one with access to everyone's rooms. As far as we know, not a great sign. Finn told us what you saw, Liz, about John being near Madani's room that night. You know? Before that, did you have any reason to suspect him? No, he's always been super professional. Hard to get to know at first, but we bonded over working crazy hours and Nick being Nick. I always thought he was nice. I never would have suspected a thing if I hadn't seen it with my own eyes. What about you, Angelina? How was your relationship with John? Before all this, it was good. Like Liz said, he's not an easy guy to get to know. We're all familiar, believe me. I've been trying to get that man out of his shell for years. But I've seen a few things. I walked in on him video chatting with his sisters once. They were all so excited that he worked with a model. I signed some headshots for them, sent them some stuff from the goodie bags I get from shoots. John said they were thrilled. She sighs, her smile fading. I don't think he's too fond of me anymore, though. I mean, you did sleep with someone else and cheat on someone, so, you know. Has he ever been upset with you or Nick before? Just once. John was in Nick's office, maybe a month or two ago. I heard them arguing about something. Then John stormed out. When I asked Nick what it was all the fuss about, he said it was some money thing. What? Like John was asking for a raise? I doubt it. Nick paid him triple his last salary and then some. As you reach an intersection in the hallway, Farah nods down one of the corridors. John's room is this way. I could take a peek inside while he's busy securing the house. It might be our only chance to search it without him. I don't think you'll find any underwear in his closet, but you three have fun. You consider the path to John's room as Liz and Angelina head away down the hall. If you think it's important, I can stand watch while the two of you go in. Up to you. Yeah. Don't at me, had to re-record this shit. It was like 17 minutes or something when I first saw it. It's worth a look, as long as we're quick. I'll be right outside to holler or text you if I see him coming. We appreciate your services. If you see him coming, it's going to be a little too late as he rounds the corner towards where the door is. You follow Farah into a side corridor while Dante stays at the intersection and keep an eye out for Jun. Farah kneels in front of Jun's door and pulls a few slim lockpicks from the low neck of her top. As you've seen her do before, she gives the locking mechanism a thoughtful look. Interesting, this is not your average lock. Too difficult to get into? As she gives you a wry look and rolls her eyes. For an amateur, maybe. It's quite a bit fancier than the one on Liz's door, though. I could have done that one blindfolded. This one's going to take a minute. The man obviously knows a thing or two about security. You watch as she begins fiddling with the mechanism, biting her bottom lip as she concentrates. Should we be worried that he chose an extra fancy lock on his room? Only one way to find out. Everyone's got something to hide, but sadly for them, on cue, the lock clicks and the door eases open. I exist. After a quick glance up and down the hall to make sure the coast is clear, you follow Farah into Jun's room. It's immaculate as it was the night you visited him, impeccably organized and light on decorations. Something tells me the chandelier wasn't Jun's call or the damask drapes, but the rest of this feels like him. There's a crisply made bed, a dresser, a desk, large footlocker beside the closet. The only real personal effects are on his desk. Farah strolls over to it and picks up a framed picture of Jun and 3 smiling girls. These must be his sisters. Look at the family resemblance. I bet they're little heartbreakers. What do you think these toys are? Next to the picture sit 2 small plastic toys, a penguin with orange glasses and a yellow helmet, and a polar bear wearing overalls. Beats me, but no sign of a laptop. He must have locked up his somewhere else. Where do you want to check next? But the closet. You move over to the closet, slide the door open. Inside are roughly a dozen nearly identical suits. All perfectly ironed and lint rolled. The man missed his calling as a maid. Must be nice being this organized. I can't pull anything out of my closet without 3 other things falling down. You use a closet. I keep everything I wear in my suitcase. I am once again reminded that we lead very different lives. You share a grin, and the 2 of you feel around the walls and floors of the closet, checking for anything hidden. No signs of any skeletons, at least. Then we keep looking. Let's check the dresser. You slide the top of the dresser open and find perfectly folded briefs, socks. Half of them are black, the other half are white. The other drawers are similarly full of folded clothes and linens. You meticulously check each pile for anything hiding in it. Nothing here, and no false bottoms on any of the drawers. I still find it deeply charming that that's a thing you know to look for. You both carefully replace each item after examining it, and once the drawers are back in order, you close them just as carefully. For Jun's privacy, I suppose I'm relieved there's nothing too fun in here, but I'll admit that I'm also a little disappointed. You never checked the footlocker. I'm just glad we didn't find a bloody knife or something. It would have cracked the case, but not a pleasant thought. Your gaze falls on the footlocker beside the closet. There you go. Any chance you can open that? It would be my Farah touches the locker's clasp, and it springs open. Never mind. He left it unlocked. He was probably counting on the locked door to keep out any prying eyes. Inside, you find painstakingly folded workout clothes, along with several exercise bands and personal weights. As you move the clothes to look underneath, something wrapped in one of the shirts falls out. Hello, what do we have here? Farah gingerly lifts one of the 2 fallen items, both military medals, with Jun's name on it. Hang on, I've seen these before, or I've seen where they come from. The day we searched Steve's room, he had an empty medal case. That would fit perfectly inside it. Why would Steve have a case for Jun's medals? Better question is, if these are Jun's, why is he hiding them? I don't know, but I'm not surprised that he's keeping something under wraps. Like I said earlier, everybody has something they want to hide. Jun and I happen to go about it differently. Farah, how did you pick the persona you use? What's the hardest thing to hide when you're working? She answers in an instant with no hesitation. The disdain. Some of Nick's friends are better than others, but if you think the worst of them are entitled, you have no idea. I've seen men with $1,000 fake tans and $10,000 yachts. $10,000 yachts. That's super cheap. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's a poor man's yacht who makes Steve look like Mother Teresa. None of these people in those worlds give a damn about anything except money, reputation, and money. I don't know how you stand being around them. Yeah, makes you want to kill them. Anyway, neither do I. Sometimes. And the conversation at those parties is just an absolute garbage. An angry hag tries to rip her away from between my ribs every time I hear a tech magnate go off about Nietzsche, like a philosophy ended in 1900. Sometimes I just want somebody to hold me and have an in-depth conversation about Eve Sedgwick, you know? I'm sorry, who now? Before you can answer, all of the lights in the room go out. God, I wish that you would just stop happening. Are you still there, Finn? You feel Farah's hand brush your arm as she searches for you. I'm here. We're okay. You catch her hand, and she lets out a relieved sigh. As she leans against you, you can hear the gentle rise and fall of her breath. You gently tug her closer, lifting a hand to cup her cheek, and Farah immediately meets you in a kiss. She tilts her head, pressing her mouth to yours at a different angle. So long as aren't getting murdered, the privacy does have its benefits. It's like you're reading my mind. She nips at your lower lip, her hands trailing over the contours of your chest. Pull her closer. You pull her closer, wrapping your arms around her waist, and she takes it as the invitation it is. She hooks one leg around the back of your thigh, pressing the length of her body against yours as she kisses you again. Her lips part beneath yours, and when you swipe your tongue against hers, she lets out an answering moan. Finn. Her hands trail down to your waist as if desperate to touch more of you in this velvety darkness to find bare skin, just as the press of her body sends you staggering back against John's desk. Whoops. Sorry, too much? I kissed you, Farah. What do you think? I'll take that as a no, then. And now you probably knock some shit over and you're not going to remember how it went, and then Jun's going to know someone was in there. We should probably get out of here before Jun finds us, though, and get back to solving the multiple murders. Called it. You pull out your phone flashlight for his eyes, and you can see enough to catch her nodding. You're right. It did wonders for my mental stability to think about this for a while, though. This, you mean kissing me? I said what I said. She gives you a playful wink, and then the two of you tidy the room and make sure the medals are tucked back where you found them. In moments, there's no evidence you were ever there. You search John's room with Farah. We make a good team. Oh, Finn, I thought that was obvious by now. You slip out the door. Farah is careful to relock it behind you. Dante waits nearby, waving you over in the light from his phone. Find anything interesting? One thing mainly. Any sign of... A single flashlight bobs through the dark, headed right towards you. There you all are. We've got a problem. Oh, what now? John leads you all down to the kitchen, where you find other guests waiting, minus Steve. They've lit candles around the room, casting a flickering light over the space as John addresses the group. I'm sure you've all noticed the power is out. I want to go home. I just want to take a warm bath with my pH-modulated bath salt somewhere far, far away from here. Don't we have a backup generator? It usually kicks in within like 5 seconds in a bad storm. We do have one, and it should be on, but for some reason it isn't. I'm gonna try and fix it, but I need help. At the very least, I need someone to hold a flashlight. I'll go. Farah gives you a frantic look, mouthing a few silent words. We should not let him go with John alone. I'll come to. For moral support. All I know about the electric stuff is turning it off and on again, but we'll be safer if we travel in a bigger group. I suppose I can join your little band, but don't expect me to do more than hold a flashlight. More the merrier, then. The rest of you try to relax, stay together. Hopefully the power will be back on soon. You, Dante, and Farah exchange wary looks as John leads you to an alcove just behind the kitchen. He presses one hand to one of the wall panels and a hidden door pops open, revealing a steep, pitch-black staircase. Everyone grab a flashlight and step carefully. I wouldn't want anyone to break their neck down here. Yes, I'll definitely need this. With that, John leads you all into the darkness. Farah gives you a rueful grimace, and the three of you follow him down the stairs. Ooh. Into a cluttered basement with cement walls. John picks up a large bag, and the light of his flashlight glints off metal tools protruding from him. You know, when we were looking for potential crime scenes, you could have mentioned the creepy murder basement. I already ruled it out. If someone killed Nick here, they would have had to carry him up 3 flights of stairs. That'd be a long, messy climb. As John walks on ahead, Farah arches an inquisitive eyebrow at you and Dante. I mean, he's not wrong. Unless he's the killer, he could have carried Nick upstairs, no sweat. Yeah, but with the risk of being caught. Without leaving a massive blood trail to clean up, feels like a stretch to me. Walking through the dark sends your imagination into overdrive. Your footsteps echo through the maze-like corridors. It'd be easy for someone to be lying in wait behind these boxes, or around that corner, down the hallway in the wine cellar. Wait, how do you know there's a wine cellar? Your imagination can't decide between a masked imaginary killer. And now you die! Or a more familiar face. You figured it out, Finn. It was me. But real mysteries don't always have tidy little endings. You shake your head, trying to get rid of the swirling thoughts as John leads you all onward. Finally, the bulky outline of a generator looms up ahead. John hands you the bag of tools and begins examining it with his flashlight. Okay, I think I see the problem. I need to open this panel. Finn, can you hand me the long Phillips head screwdriver from the bag? You open the bag and immediately spot the screwdriver in question. Weirdly sharp screwdriver. Do I really want to hand him an improvised weapon while we're all down here in the dark? Oh, give me a break! Yeah, find something less dangerous. Shut up and give him the screwdriver. You pass John the screwdriver, and he barely looks up from his work. Thanks. Could you all bring some more light over here? Dante, I'm about to hand you something. Sure. You and Farah lift your flashlights as Dante sidles over to John. One by one, John unfastens the screws on a panel and passes it to Dante. Just one more. As he yanks out one wire and relocates it, the lights crackle back on. There. Thanks for the assist. Our pleasure. John returns the screwdriver to you, handle first, and then leads the way back out of the electrical room. The others turn to follow John, but as you do the same, something on the wall catches your eye. An electrical panel sits near the backup generator, but unlike nearly everything down here, it isn't covered in dust. Someone must have opened that panel recently. You can hear the others a little ways down the nearest hallway, but for now you're alone, so you unlock the panel and peer inside. Okay, I'm no electrician, but there's no way this is factory standard. Hot-wired in the panel is a small electrical device. Lights blink on the chip at its center, and there's a small Wi-Fi card. Whatever this is, it's not supposed to be here. So who installed it and why? Investigate the strange device. Diamond choice. Take it with me. Clearly it's installed by Skynet. It only takes a moment to find the cable connecting the device to the electrical panel beneath it. Here goes nothing. You unplug it and all the lights on the device go dark, but there's no sudden alarm, no other change in the space. Well, it didn't self-destruct, so I'm taking that as a win. You jog after the others and find Dante and Farah trailing a few paces behind John. When you wave to catch your attention, they fall back a few more paces. Everything okay? Yes and no. I found something, but I have no idea what it is. Make sure John isn't watching, and when he rounds another corner, you lift the device from your pocket to show them. This was plugged into an electrical panel back there, like hot-wired in. Someone installed it probably recently. Farah takes the device from your hands and turns it over on her own. Well, I'll be... You've seen one of these before? They're a bit too high-tech for the kind of work I do, but I've looked into them. If you wire one of these into the building's electrical grid and connect it to the Wi-Fi, it gives you admin access to the local network. Admin access meaning the control of Nick's smart home devices? Exactly. Everything from the lights to the internet to the thermostat. More than that, Nick's got this whole place set up as a smart home. Almost anything with a battery in here has a Wi-Fi connection. Fridge, door panels, TVs, webcams. How about everyone's doors? Whoever hot-wired this in could mess with all of that from anywhere, if they've got a cell phone and an internet connection. Okay, how do you know all of this? From a slasher about a ghost who lived on social media. Not really how the Internet of Things works, but hey, it got me interested. There's one more wrinkle. Access like this also gets you data on anyone connected to the same network. Passwords, people searching histories, that sort of thing. Like Madani's phone. So, with this, you'd have access to the same level of access to Nick's house as Nick did. Plus a little invasion of everyone's internet privacy as the cherry on top. Hang on. Remember that hologram in the puzzle room? You make sure John is still out of earshot as you'll slowly trail in his wake, then nod to Dante. Yeah? We figured out that the killer must have used a recording to spoof Nick's voice when I thought I talked to him up the stairs. But if the killer was the one who set this device up, this must be how they played the recording. Because Nick's got speakers everywhere. That's upsetting. I don't like the idea of hearing Nick's voice all over the house, or of the killer messing with features we might not even know about. Well, since you removed the pesky little device, I don't think they can anymore. Good thinking, Finn. Yeah, until they come down to check it. My phone already knows way too much about me. I don't need the killer getting in on that. You're preaching to the choir. What are you hiding, Dante? You grab the override device. User unknown. I see that coffee sitting on the desk and I really want it right now. I haven't had a hot coffee all day. You pat your pocket to make sure the device is safe and sound as John calls back over his shoulder. You all still with me? You give him a hasty thumbs up, picking up the pace. Yep, right behind you. As if he doesn't have hearing. You all emerge from the basement and find the other guests in the living room, looking relieved. You all made it. Thank God we have power again. I can't sleep without my white noise machine, and my adrenaline is already dangerously high. I'm not sure Madani would agree if she were still with us. But seriously, thank you all. My laptop was almost out of charge, and I need 2 screens to get anything done. Oh, you poor thing. Yes, thanks for looking out for us, John. You hear an echoing clack from a locked door to one side of the room, and Steve calls out from behind it. The real heroes or whatever suckers went down there with the old killer over there. Oh, Jesus Christ. How did he know? Killer? You're lucky he didn't leave you down there. Or worse. John has been quiet ever since the lights got back on, but in Steve's words, you watch something in his calm facade snap. Go to hell, Steve. What was that, killer? Sorry. Please give us, like, I don't know, the face of Steve or something. John strides over to the locked door, swipes a key card, and swings the door open to glare right in Steve's face. Whoa, dude. I said, go to hell. It's bad enough we're all stuck in the goddamn murder mystery. There's no need to add torture of you running your mouth. Yeah, you'd know a thing or two about torture, wouldn't you, Chief? This is the last time I'm gonna say it nicely, Steve. Shut up. I'm actually gonna let this play out. Is that a threat, Mr. Green Beret? What are you gonna do? Kill me? I said shut up. John's fist clenched at his side as Steve glances past him to catch her eye. Hey, Sherlock, I solved your murder for you. The murderous one threatening to kill people. Wild concept, right? Now, are you all just gonna let him stab me next, or is someone gonna help a guy out? I mean, you did start running your mouth first, so... John, come on. Maybe you should take a step back. John grits his teeth. He stares at Steve for one breath, two, then turns on his heel. You're not worth it, Steve. With that, John shoots you a look that you could swear is an apology and then storms out of the room. Well, this has been fun. I'm going to lie down somewhere quiet. Hope I don't get killed in my sleep, I guess. Why don't you come lie down in my room? Liz and I will keep you company. I don't trust this, but okay. Oh, you know, my feed does great with... I'm not saying that word, because YouTube. Between 20 and 35. Maybe you two can help me with some market Angelina's by, and I'm not interested in being your focus group. As Angelina leads Crystal upstairs with Liz reluctantly in tow, Pete holds his thumb and forehead to the bridge of his nose. And yes, saying that word, YouTube actually doesn't like that either. There's a lot of words I could actually tell you guys that this platform doesn't like. And it would shock you. I'm gonna lock myself up in my room. Try to get some rest, too. After all that yelling, I can feel a migraine coming on. That just leaves you, Dante, Farah, Steve, who's standing hesitantly in the doorway of the room he was locked in. This means I'm not on house arrest anymore. Are we seriously gonna let you go free? Absolutely not. But what the hell was all that? Why'd you kill John, or call John a killer? Sorry, hard pass. I've already run my mouth enough. You saw how mad he got. If John heard I was spilling the beans about him, that guy could twist me into a pretzel without breaking a sweat. Meaning you know something that convinced you that John's dangerous? Steve winces. I liked you better when you were just a hot movie star, dude. Stop playing smart. Hey. Stop insulting a guy who's trying to help you. I get you're freaked out, but you're not making any friends here, Steve. I don't need people to watch your back if you're so scared of John, because it seems like the one thing you do need. As you and Farah glare at him, Steve deflates. He gives Dante an apologetic shrug. Look, you might not know if John's the killer, but he is a killer. And I don't just mean because the dude saw combat. Did he ever tell you why he left the service? I assume because he got sick of fighting and being shot at. He got dishonorably discharged for desertion and violent conduct. Not a lot of people wanted a bodyguard with that record. Until you came along, I take it. How benevolent of you. It wasn't charity. I'm an MIT grad, okay? I've got good instincts. I ran the numbers on having a guy like that looking out for me when capitalism gets rough. And then I decided I want him on my payroll. So what exactly happened when John got discharged? You must have done a background check when you hired him. Sorry, Sherlock, but I've already said too much. Let me guess, diamond choice. Steve turns away, shoot Dante and Farah a desperate look. What if we keep talking over a friendly game? Got a pool table in there, right? He nods towards the room behind Steve, and the one he requested to be locked up in. Steve hesitates and immediately turns into interest. Yes, and doing trick shots on my own is so boring. I would literally kill for some company. I mean, not literally, but figuratively. Is that better in context? You know, I wouldn't kill. Remember the lasers? It's been a while since I've played, but I wouldn't mind a game. Called in. Let's see what else he knows. Okay, fine. We can make time for one game. Sweet! Steve steps inside to usher you inside the room he's been locked in since this morning, gesturing towards the pool table. Welcome to my new home. I'm the king of pool now. Steve steps over a rack of pool cues on the wall and immediately begins chalking up a cue. How about this? If we win, you have to tell us more of what you know. If you win... No, I'm not about to play some team game. How about we do trick shots? If I miss the shot, I have to tell you all more. If you miss the shot, then... If the word strip crosses your lips, you don't have to worry about John killing you. Relax, I have boundaries. Tell you what, I'm building my following online and I need to go viral. Dante's a celebrity. You got almost as many followers as Crystal. Finn, popular for a writer, right? You're phrasing like that like a question is making me doubt my own sales numbers, but I'm not exactly blowing up on Pictogram. This'll still be fun. So, if any of you miss a shot, you have to let me record you dancing on the pool table. There's a little murder in the house and you're worried about your follower count. You're the one that wants something. You in or out? We're in. I'll start us off easy. Just land a ball in the corner pocket, and only that corner pocket. It's too bad they don't insert minigames into these chapters, so we could actually try and, actually do it versus, just read about it. Steve aims his cue, and when he drives it forward, the ball careens back and forth between landing in the pocket. Boom! Top that! Dante lines up his own cue with one of the balls, draws back, but he just barely misses the pocket. Bad luck. Ante up, superstar. If you insist. Dante leaps on the table in a single movement and starts tap dancing what you could swear is a choreographed number. Hello, my darling, hello, my doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. How do you just have the dance ready to go? I tried to get a spot in one of the Magic Mike sequels a few years back. Emphasis on tried. Pity it didn't work out. You step up next, considering the easy shot, and what you could do if you missed. Are you serious? I'll make the shot. Dance. Dance. I'm gonna make the shot. You carefully line up the shot and sink it. Dante whistles appreciatively. Nice moves. Arthur, impromptu detective, pool shark. Is there anything I can't do? If I said first aid, that's too soon, right? I say first aid. What? Steve! Okay, sorry. You're up, princess. Farah takes a shot next. She frowns, batting her lashes with what you recognize as a look of feigned bafflement, but her ball lands right in the pocket. Oh, thank God, there was the right one. Beginner's luck, I guess. Hang on, I'll go again as soon as I'm done posting this video of Dante. Steve walks towards the window, trying to get a good signal on his phone while his back is turned. Farah arches an eyebrow at you and Dante. If we want any answers, we need Steve to miss the next one. Well, then let's mess with the table. Grab one of the coasters from that shelf. While Steve's back is still turned, you'll lift one side of the pool table just enough for Dante to slip a coaster underneath one leg. Mission accomplished. You've just set the table down when Steve returns, tucking his phone back in his pocket. Okay, let me go ahead and I'll show you all up now. Steve carefully measures his shot, but the ball is barely halfway across the table when it careens into a side pocket, missing the mark entirely. Damn! I just practiced that one earlier. Guess your luck's just not with you. So, Annie, what exactly have you heard about John? Steve sighs, tapping his pool cue against his palm. I don't know anything else about him getting discharged, just the whole desertion and violent conduct rule. I hired some guys to dig for more when I was running a background check on him, but they came up empty, said the details were classified. That's still interesting, though. If John did something that bad, why hide it? Depends on what type of mission he was running. Or was it less about him and more about whatever mission he was on? Oh, look at that! Farah sighs, visibly trying to keep her frustration in check. Instead, she aims for an air of bored disappointment. Oh, so you're telling us you don't actually know anything? I know that he's violent, okay? And I've seen that with my own damn eyes. John worked for me for a while. Spent most of his time doing his usual John Wick impression. And one day, this random guy comes at me on the street. He brick red in the face, yelling some crap I can barely understand, but he's also 5'6" and not exactly a threat. Tell that to Tom Cruise. But the second John sees this guy, he doesn't say a word, just hauls back and socks him in the jaw. Good God. Was he okay? Went down like a sack of potatoes. John knocked him out cold. Some passerbyers called a paramedic. They got the guy up. I heard he had a nasty concussion. Literally, that's what some bodyguards do. He was protecting you while the guy's being red in the face and irate. So... What was the guy yelling about? Steve shrugs. Like I said, I couldn't make out much. She never showed up again, so I didn't get a chance to ask. Something tells me you didn't try particularly hard. Okay, next shot, Dante. Think you can jump this block of chalk and get it in that center pocket? I think. This time Dante sinks the shot easily. Yes. Why do I get the feeling he missed his first shot on purpose? You turn over Steve's words in your head as Farah continues to pretend that she hasn't held a pool cue in years, but she still makes the shot. Oh, I did it again! Just like Brittany. Steve makes his next shot, then heads over to the rack hanging on the wall. I'm gonna set up something harder this time. Show you all how it's really done. I think we've gotten all we're going to get out of him, but I wonder what others make of it. While Steve's preoccupied, you pull one of your companions aside. For Farah. Okay, Steve, let's go best of 5. Hope you got more dance moves then, because I'm going to destroy you. You catch Farah's eye, and she sails over the other side of the room with you, while Dante remains with Steve. It just makes sense, you know, since she's playing amateur newbie at pool. The story Steve told us, it couldn't have been that simple as Jun going post on a stranger, right? No, I dare say there was something going on that Steve didn't understand. Imagine. Any ideas? Only that the man either really deserved it or really, really didn't. No way to know which, but one possibility worries me more than the other. That's fair. You both watch Steve attempt to bounce a ball high enough that it hits the chandelier. We know more about Jun than we came in here with, though. And I know you're almost frighteningly good at pool. She sighs and runs a hand through her curls, grinning. I should have missed a few shots, but the idea of letting Steve think he's better than me and something was too much for my pride. You're not a bad shot either, by the way. We did one shot. Kiss her. Or thank her for her help. We already kissed you enough tonight. I'm just glad we got a bit more intel out of Steve. Thanks for the assist. You head back to the others and find Steve returning the pool cues to the rack on the wall. What do you say, Inspector? Was my cooperation enough to get me out of jail? Not yet. We still have a killer at large, so until things have calmed down, it's better to keep you on lockdown. Sure, fine. Little fridge in here is enough junk to keep me fed for days. Just make sure somebody lets me out of here before you all die. I don't want to be locked in here with a house full of dead bodies. Charming as always, Steve. Steve's phone suddenly vibrates just as Angelina rushes in looking worried. Sorry to interrupt, but I think Crystal might be having a panic attack. We got to her room, but now she can't catch her breath, and she keeps asking for sensory deprivation chamber. Is there anything we can do to help? I'll take any ideas you all have. Liz is still upstairs with her. I used to get panic attacks all the time. I can walk her through some breathing exercises. I'll go grab some chamomile tea from the kitchen and bring it along. Something tells me someone's gonna be dead by the time we get there. And I'll... Oh, yeah, that's right. Nobody's letting me out of here, right? Right. As the rest of you follow Angelina out, Farah closes the door and sees face. You hear it lock automatically, and Steve sighs. Fine, I'll text her some soothing gifts or whatever. As Angelina leads you all towards the nearest stairway, you pause, realizing there's one face you haven't seen since the storm he stormed off. Jun hasn't come back. If I can find him, there could be a chance to see what he gets up to when no one's watching. Finn, you coming? I actually think I'm gonna follow you up on something. Can you all look after Crystal? No problem. Just be careful. You head up a different stairway, remembering the corridor that leads to Jun's room. Might as well check his room first, and if he's not there, one of Nick's rooms, or... As you pass an open doorway, there's a sudden blur of motion as something grabs your arm, yanking you through the doorway. A shadowy figure slams the door shut behind you, then claps a hand over your mouth. In the low light, you recognize John holding something sharp and glinting in the free hand. His jaw is set, his gaze steely. You need to be very, very quiet. I'm going to kill you. Oh, boy. Without further ado, thanks for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Head down description. Plenty of things to check out, ways to support, and whatnot. Oh, boy. Oh, I'm still in about 60% pain. So, you left Liz and Crystal together, by the way. We suspected Angelina and Liz, right? We suspected a duo of killers, right? What happens if Crystal dies? What happens if Liz dies? I don't think just by you walking down a hallway looking for John, he could have kept the door closed, he could have stayed hidden. You don't know. I think it's just too convenient. I don't think shit's gonna be over until at least chapter 20. Right? So, here it is, Thursday, right? Guess we'll find out more tomorrow. Sorry about being late, but, I've been sick, and basically by sick, I mean in a lot of pain beyond human comprehension and pushing me way beyond most people's limits. But I'm slowly trying to get back on track and get this stuff done, because I know that some of you actually do enjoy it, and I want to make sure that I don't let you down. Aside from that, again, please consider supporting the channel, and I'll catch you all later. Peace out.